I come from a long line of handymen, if you will, you know, mechanically inclined. And my dad learned his skills, and I picked some up from my grandfather, his father. Extremely skilled handyman, extremely skilled. He was a lineman from Ma Bell, and my dad was born in the Chicago area. That's where my family's from originally. And then he took a transfer over to Eastern Washington to splice wire, telephone wire all through Eastern Washington, and headed over to Western Washington. That's how my family ended up in Western Washington. And then my grandparents retired and moved on to California. And that's where I spent a lot of my childhood summers, was in California, Ventura, at their house. My grandfather was so handy, he developed a mute button for his television before remote controls even existed. And how he was able to do that is he just ran a wire. He took an old pillbox, ran a wire from the speaker, put a disconnect switch in there, put the little plunger, the clicker, the top of the pillbox, and he ran a wire from the TV to his couch, right? Or wherever he needed it. And whenever a commercial would come on TV, click, and then the sound would go off. Show came back on, click, sound would come back in. As a kid, I thought that was just, wow, impressive. How'd you do that? Well, you know, he had the knowledge of doing that, right? He had the knowledge of electronics and how switches work and everything. I didn't. But it leads me to this point. And it's not so much the point of being a handyman. If that's all you picked up, you're missing the point. The point is, he created a mute button for the stuff he didn't want to hear. Okay? That's the message. How many of us need a mute button to block out all the negativity of life, the stuff that we allow ourselves to hear that we really should put a stop to? Because what we put on the inside, as Bob Proctor, what we allow, says, Bob Proctor's teachings, if you know who he is, he says whatever we allow in our body has to come out in some kind of physical form. So if you're allowing all the negativity to continuously flow, it's going to come out in some ugly form that you don't want. Most of the case, that comes out in disease. Okay, think of that word, as Bob would say, dis-ease, disease. Okay, so you want to mute out all the negativity, all the bad, and start pumping in the good. All right, love you.